What's up, agents? Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 video. In today's video, I just want to give you guys a bunch of tips and tricks. Whether you are a new player, a returning player, or a veteran player. Hopefully this video helps you. If it does, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Make sure that notification bell is pressed. Follow me on Twitch and on X. All the links will be down below. Let's get on with the video. I'm only going to mention a few things in this video. There are many more topics I can cover, and I will potentially make several parts to this. But for now, I just want to go over the things I've seen in my comment sections. Maybe you guys aren't aware of some of these items or some of these tips and tricks. So hopefully this does help you out. So the first thing I want to talk about, and it's one of the most surprising things I've seen in the community or in my comment sections of a lot of my pyro videos, is that people don't know that you can actually ignite the Fire Chem launcher. So if we have a look and go to the Firestarter Chem launcher, you guys will know that when you shoot this cloud, it will look like this, and you might think, well, how do I ignite it? Normally, people will be like, well, you've got to shoot it to ignite it, and sometimes it doesn't ignite. That's quite clunky, but the button that you use to pull out your Firestarter Chem launcher, when you actually shoot it, you press this button twice and it automatically ignites. This is something I have mentioned before, but I'm amazed a lot of people don't actually know about this. And if this is the first time you've heard about this, this will change the game for you. If you guys want to farm for gear, the absolute best way to do it is to play this game mode right here called Countdown. It's incredible. Countdown gives you the option of selecting targeted loot. So you would come here and select what gear set, brand set, or weapon type you want to farm for. You can also do skill attachments and so on. So once you've selected that, you go into this mission, you kill some hunters, you go through it, you do some objectives, and then towards the end, it will just drop so much loot. And for example, if you want a named item that is specific to a brand set, you select that brand set, and more than likely, every single time you play this mission, you get one of that named item. It's incredibly potent for getting everything you need really quickly. And also for proficiency ranks, if you guys need to level up certain items on your character. Like for example, I have got right here a double barrel shotgun that's not fully proficient. This is for expertise. I would put this on and go into the countdown, and it counts off of my teammates getting kills. And because there are 8 players, just like in a raid, it's definitely going to be the best place to farm. The Artificer Hive is one of the strongest skills in the game, and I want to quickly talk about this. So if you guys go to the technician specialization and you come across to here, you will see the Artificer Hive. This hive is incredible. It does many things. It heals skills, including your shield. And by the way, if you have your shield out, you don't have to throw the hive. The stims automatically go towards your shield and heal it. You can throw this down and buff the damage of certain skills as well. Now, I'm not going to talk about in detail exactly which ones take effect, but you could test it for yourself in the range. All you need to do is allow the stims to affect your skill and then utilize it. This is great, especially for healing your teammates' skills or just your own. If your turret's taking damage, you throw this out where your turret is and it'll heal your turret. This, you can stack this by putting repair skills on your mods or your set bonuses. Repair skills will buff the amount that this heals your skills. It is really powerful. So I absolutely recommend you guys make sure you try this skill. If you're new or even a veteran player and you haven't used it before, it is one of my favorite skills to utilize. Sometimes I'll run into a player who is healing the team and he runs out of his skills. As a healer, that is a big no-no, and you should never really run out of heals, whether it be your hive or your chems. And I'm going to show you guys why that is. So let me make sure that the skill haste is disabled here. So this is the healer build that I use. It's not optimized, but it works really well. I have got this right here, safeguard. So while I'm at full armor, I have skill repair by 100% increase. That's quite powerful. So my skill haste isn't super amazing. It's 60%, but I never run out of skills. And I'm going to show you guys why. And that's because of the BTSU gloves. These are incredible. If you guys are using any healer build, this is a must. And I absolutely recommend you put these on. So what you want to do is, if you are using your chem, so what I generally would do is I would drop my my hive somewhere. My players will be using it, my teammates. And then every now and again, you got to make use of your chems. Don't over abuse them. Otherwise, you're going to basically run out really quickly. But with this trick, I'm going to show you, this is how you mitigate that. So skill duration will actually increase the amount of time that your chems are on the floor. Therefore, that helps with your skill haste. But I'm not even going to worry about that too much. So if you've maybe spammed quite a bit because your teammates needed the healing, and then let's say your hive is at like 10 charges. It's out now at 36. Let's say it's at 10. What I would do is I would destroy the skill, activating the BTSU gloves, getting an overcharge. So look how quick your hive comes back, and look how large the chem is because it's overcharged. That will heal your team sufficiently while the hive recharges. And then all you need to do when that runs out is drop the hive back down, and then you have your chems once again. Now the chems, you can get your skill haste up to get your chems back a bit faster, but that trick normally works all the time, even for the Iron Horse raid, staying in a room where it's always on fire. This works well, so definitely give it a try if you haven't done it before. Crit versus normal weapon damage. I don't want to talk about this too long because I can make this video just an hour long talking about this. I'm going to be quite simple with how I talk about this certain thing that I see the community always doing wrong. Now, there are RNG elements to this, so in some situations, the person who's making something I don't recommend may actually do more damage than what I'm doing, because crit generally is RNG based. It's per bullet. So if we have a look at a build like this, for example, I go to my statistics. I have got 58.5% crit chance and 151% crit damage. Let's just say that it's 60% crit chance, because that is the cap on crit chance. Only 60% chance for your bullet to crit. So throughout a magazine, generally speaking, from what I've noticed, it's around about half crit, half don't. So what I see people doing is trading out a baseline increase in weapon damage for crit damage. And it's quite simple why that is, I believe. So if we look at a Grupo piece, this actually gives you 15% more crit damage. This one gives you 10% more SMG damage, just saying we're using an SMG here. So when you look at the range and you have a look at your crits, the value is going to be higher for the Grupo, clearly because you've got more crit damage. But a Sokolov, because we're getting 10% SMG damage, it's much better because we are increasing the non-crits, which is 40%, and the crits. Yes, it's not as much on the crits, but balance. And keep in mind, this is RNG. You may crit all the time, but that's very unlikely from what I've seen. The balance, you will do more damage overall with an increase in weapon damage. Now, this is up to you to gauge. Like, for example, we have a look here. Coyote's Mask is 25%. That's probably going to be better. Like, let's say we had to choose between 10% SMG damage and 25% critical hit damage, being that close to an enemy. You've got to kind of gauge. I would say that this will be better. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's such a bigger gap. Instead of 15, it's 25. But that's still maybe RNG, and that's still worth you testing yourself. And also, something to mention as well is the Picaro's holster. Now, this would generally only be recommended if you want to go full damage for a setup that has blues in it, because you can't change this to a red. But the 15% weapon damage, in my opinion, is probably going to be better than the Coyote's 25, because that's 5% extra weapon damage. But it is RNG, and it depends on the build, the multiplicative situation, and what you are as a player. How are you going to be playing? If you're going to be playing close or far. That's just something I wanted to quickly mention. So it's up to you to gauge, but generally speaking, keep in mind that you're only critting maximum 60% of your bullets. Therefore, you want to kind of increase the non-crits and the crits together, especially in PvP. That's a whole different situation though. Next up, I want to talk about weak points. Weak points are on most NPCs in the game. Even some of the electronic dogs, they've got weak points in their knees, or you can call it knees. It's very important that you guys know this, like backpacks on chungas or their chain. If you shoot those items, it stops them from even shooting you back. And some of them, you actually need to break their backpack or whatever weak point they have to actually be able to even apply damage to them. So you need to be aware of what weak points are and always make use of the weak points. And you can increase damage to weak points from what I've seen by increasing your damage to health. Now there is a Jarl named Mask, which gives you more damage, or by just using an assault rifle, which comes with the core attribute health damage. That will help you beam that out a lot quicker and therefore help you in any situation in the game. So let's take a look. Let me try and explain or showcase what I was talking about. So you see this guy, he's got around his belt, he has actually got a weak point. So I'm going to try and make use of it. Also this guy, you see his backpack, or it's not like a backpack, it's like a riot foam storage or something like that. Let me try and actually make use of this and hit it. So if I hit it over there, you guys saw the yellow symbols, that's a weak point. So let's move over to this guy over here. I should be able to shoot that on his bag. We'll do that in a second. They've also got weak points, but I just want to showcase that. So there we go. That's another one gone. Nice and quick and easy with the assault rifle. Hopefully we get a chunga here so I can show this to you guys actually. These guys, there we go. That's his weak point there. Did you see it? And then there's his weak point. That's for the turrets. So those turrets are quite dangerous. So we want to make sure we get rid of those before he will actually put it down. Now keep in mind that sometimes you can get blown up if you're too close to the explosive guys, the grenadiers. They will blast you. We shoot this guy's weak point. You see there? It blows up and it actually damages himself. And it distracts him. It's a great way to get rid of NPCs in this game. So these are the guys I was mentioning. Now some robotic mini-tanks shoot their tracks to stop them from moving so you can finish them off. That's also quite an important tip. Now there should be some of these explosive boys. You see there's his turret that I was talking about. There are some explosives, guys, we want to get rid of. Those grenadiers can be a bit of a problem up close. Just keep that in mind. There they are there. So we shoot the bottom parts there. You see how it blows them up. Now they're normally quite strong, but because we've weakened them, it's a lot easier to kill them. Now I think there's another weak spot on their backpack as well. It just depends. You can identify weak points through a Firefly, I believe, and also you can have a look through one of their pistols does a bit more damage to them. It just depends. If you take a look at this enemy here, he's going to be quite strong, but if you destroy his bag, he will become very weak. Take a look there. There it is there. You can see once it's broken, he's easier to kill. Weapon handling is a very powerful stat, and I recommend you guys stack it. Weapon handling is accuracy, stability, reload speed, and swap speed. And accuracy and stability will help you hit your shots, and it makes a big difference, especially playing from longer ranges. Give it a try, place it on your build. It actually increases the damage you do if you actually hit your shots. Makes sense, doesn't it? Now, some talents just give you accuracy or stability. It depends on you. But reload speed is great, especially if you're utilizing an LMG that takes forever to reload. You can use fast hands on LMGs, for example, but that just increases reload speed. Weapon handling encompasses all of this. Swap speed is also something that may be of interest to you. If you like to swap guns all the time, it is quite sluggish, and some backpack talents make use of swapping weapons, or some talents, should I say. Versatile, which gives you more damage when you swap between your primary and secondary weapon if they are different. That's a huge amount of damage. So if you're hitting more shots, reloading quicker, swapping your gun faster, you can really actually increase the DPS of your build. Just a quick little tip before I finish the video, guys. If you come upstairs with me in the base of operations, if you play in the dark zone, you probably want to see this. You might not know this exists. You come here all the way to the right, and there is a dark zone officer here. And when you access her, you can actually decide what you want for each tier. For example, you get 2 additional contaminated item inventory slots, which is actually quite handy. You can decide if you want 25% increased dark zone XP for eliminating rogue agents, or for surviving a rogue timer. This continues, and you will be able to unlock all of these items or choose between some other ones. Some really handy things here as well, especially if you're trying to farm in the DZ to hold more items. So I absolutely recommend you come through here if you play in the DZ to get this level, to get this selected and activated. That's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below. Did this help you out? Did you maybe learn something from this? I hope you did. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you let me know what you think. And if you've got any questions, I will try my best to answer every single one. I appreciate you guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.